Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing What If Naruto Was a Prodigy, Part 1. So yeah, for this What If I decided not to do What If Naruto had a Zenkai boost right now, since I want to do this one first. I couldn't really think of a good way to have Naruto do a Zenkai boost after I thought about it for a while. So I'm going to keep thinking on that one, because I don't know how I would really want to do it without making Naruto way too OP. Like, really OP. Well, I want to make him OP, but I feel like it would be way too easy for him. Like, he would be Shippuden level, War Arc level by the time he's 5, since the villagers beat him up, and we can guess from how bad they beat him up that they beat him near death, and that Kurama's healing saved him. So we can infer that he would have gotten a lot stronger from that, since that seems what the villagers would have done. But so we're going to get into the backstory right now. Naruto will be born with a brother. His brother will be Menma. Minato immediately takes a liking to Menma, but he has no time to show this at all, or even really care, since the masked man just barged in the door and just demanded that Minato hand over his wife in exchange for Naruto's life. Minato immediately asks the masked man to calm down, and the masked man says, "I am perfectly calm right now. I've trained for this situation. I know how to feel calm under pressure." And then he throws Naruto in the air, jumping up with a kunai to grab him, which then Minato grabs Naruto and teleports to Menma, grabs Menma, and then teleports out when you find the paper bomb on Naruto. Minato immediately starts favoring Menma, since Menma wasn't the one that got kidnapped, even though that's totally out of Naruto's control. He isn't the one that got kidnapped. But yeah, Naruto. After that, the Nine-Tails attack will go pretty similar until the ceiling. Hiruzen will rush over there and tell Minato to let him do it, since he wants Minato to be able to raise his family and such. And since his wife is dead... oh man. I don't know why I just left there. Like, sneezed or something. That was weird. Since his wife is dead, he sees no point, so he decides to seal. He seals the Nine-Tails 50-50 between Naruto and Menma. But the thing is, he gave Menma the soul, which means Naruto will have 100% of the Nine-Tails in 6 years, I think it is. So yeah, we're going to do a time skip to when they're 3. This is when Kushina and Minato start training Menma. But they're not going to train Naruto, because over those years, Naruto's always been kind of the troublemaker, the one that wants the most attention, and Menma's kind of just been the quiet one. But those roles are kind of starting to change. Naruto just kind of doesn't even talk to people. When Naruto, seeing that his family's training Menma, decides to train himself, because he thinks he could get good at it. And always wanted to be a ninja, just like the third Hokage was. Naruto still gets the information leaked about him, and his childhood is really rough. Since first of all, he's being abused by his parents, and he's also getting abused by his parents and the villagers. So yeah, Naruto and I just had a massive brain fart. Naruto still trained a lot, though, working very hard to perfect his skill. By the time he turns 4, he will manifest chakra and begins to work on basic chakra control. He decides to steal chakra papers to see what his chakra natures are. And when he puts them in, he finds out his chakra natures are wind, fire, and lightning. Actually, I'm going to go wind, fire, and water. Yeah, that's going to be what I'm going to give him. Not lightning. Yeah, so, yeah. Naruto's pretty happy to see that. Well, no, it's just going to be wind for right now, since he'll develop the other ones later on in his life. Yeah. So Naruto begins to learn some basic wind-style jutsus. He tries learning the wind-style air bullets, and he's slowly starting to learn it. But this is very difficult, since he also has to be home by time to do chores and stuff. And just tells his parents that he was walking around the village, and that's all he really does with his life. His parents believe him and don't really care, since they see him as a pointless little brat. But, yeah. This will be when Naruto enrolls in the academy with Menma. And immediately Naruto is extremely bored in the academy, since he has already done this stuff. Iruka then teaches him the Shaolin Jutsu. Naruto acts like he can't do it like all the other kids, but he secretly takes note of it and begins to practice in it in the forest. Since he has a theory about something that maybe, like a shadow clone, he could use to train. Since it is like an extension of his body in his eyes. And he uses his access to his father to get the scroll of sealing, and he writes down all the jutsu, most of the jutsu. He writes down the Flying Rising and the Shadow Clone Jutsu. No one finds out that Naruto got to the scroll of sealing. So yeah, Naruto ends up learning the multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu pretty quickly. Oh, I forgot to explain one thing. Naruto in the series is by definition, is a prodigy. Like, he is 100% a prodigy. He learned the Rasengan at the age of 12. Was Sonin level by the age of 15, which is still extremely young. Learned an S rank, learned the scroll of sealing. Learned the multi-shadow clone jutsu at the age of 12 in like an hour or so. Snuck in and stole it. Yeah, so he is a prodigy, but he's gonna be more of a prodigy in this timeline. So yeah, Naruto learns the multi-shadow clone jutsu, and he can create around 10 clones, which isn't bad for him. He's happy with it. But, Naruto, begins to train even harder, pushing his body to the absolute extreme. And, whenever Minato talks to Naruto, he really talks down to him. But Naruto really doesn't care. His, entire family talks down to him, but he doesn't care. He just wants to be the Hokage. He doesn't look up to his father. He's gonna look up to the second Hokage, seeing how cool his jutsus were and how he developed so many of them. Naruto sets out on a mission to develop his own, and he really hopes he has water style as a chakra nature. And if not, he's just gonna learn it. He doesn't care. But yeah, Naruto doesn't have to worry, because when he turns 6 on his birthday, he decides that he is going to go try and do he's going to try and steal to get another chakra paper. And he gets the chakra paper, and he sees his chakra natures are wind and water. Naruto is really excited, since he can learn the second Hokage's signature water dragon jutsu. Naruto begins to learn water-style jutsus, putting it ahead of his wind-style. Some of Naruto's wind-style jutsus at this time are wind-style Gale Palm and wind-style Air Bullet, as well as he can add wind-style to his weapons. Naruto is also starting to pick up a sword and use it a few times. A little bit. But yeah, Naruto begins to train. Naruto begins to train in water style. He learns the water style water bullet. And he also develops his own mist jutsu, which was an inspiration from the hidden mist jutsu. That's gonna be. He's only gonna learn the water bullet for right now. Naruto at this point, Memma is gonna try to graduate school. They have an exam coming up. Memma goes up before him and almost creates a shadow clone. It's like what Naruto created at the final test exam. Whatever it's called. And Naruto, seeing this, realizes that he needs to do the exact same thing. So Naruto does the exact same thing. And Memma looks kind of dumbfounded when Naruto does this. Naruto looks really shocked when he sees this and is like, whoa, that's cool. And Naruto reaches down and pokes at it, and then it blows up. Just as Naruto's act. And yeah, Naruto's acting pretty stupid right now, for obvious reasons. But, After that, Iruka is impressed and says that the two of them are almost ready to graduate to Minato. Minato is surprised at Naruto, but Naruto can do it, but he pushes it off as dumb luck. But then the next time, when Memma is stuck at the same point, Naruto decides that he'll finally be able to create one. And Naruto creates a shadow clone. And when he sees this, Naruto looks all surprised and happy, saying that this is the first one he ever created. And Iruka nods at Naruto in approval, saying that it was pretty good. Actually, really good for his age, only being 7 and all that. Even though he's seen younger people graduate, Iruka's still impressed with Naruto, since Naruto doesn't have any special training. Like some people do. But yeah, besides the point. But yeah, Iruka immediately reports this to the Hokage and says that Naruto is going to be placed in a final year class with people who are 12. Minato is kind of getting mad, but he doesn't care. He just says yes, he doesn't care at all. And he continues to train Memma harder and harder. Oh, I forgot to mention Sasuke. Sasuke is going to also be able to produce one since Naruto has pushed him to produce one quicker. And, Naruto and Sasuke are each going to be put in their higher ranking class. And, each of them are unequally ranked. Their strength right now is around low, mid-getting level. Like, they're gettings right now. But that's pretty good for their age. Man. But yeah, Naruto and Sasuke kind of develop a rivalry against each other, each trying to be the better one, which they each enjoy participating in. But they finish up the final year and they graduate the grade at the top of their classes. Memma is a class behind them because he ends up getting the Shadow Clone Jutsu, you know. And now it's time to be put on teams. Naruto and Sasuke are seen as generational talents that really only need a 2-man team to be formed. So Kakashi takes them as a 2-man team. And Naruto and Sasuke get told the bell test. And Naruto immediately sees a red flag with this. And he thinks teamwork, since it's impossible for one of them to get the bells. So him and Sasuke both jump into the forest. But before Sasuke moves, Naruto drags Sasuke into the forest. And Kakashi kind of looks weirdly and just shrugs it off and begins to read his book. But then Naruto tells Sasuke that he thinks this quiz is all about teamwork, and if they use teamwork, Kakashi will pass him. And Sasuke says it's worth a shot since he knows neither him or Naruto can take on Kakashi. But yeah, then after that, Naruto will begin to train. Naruto and Sasuke would attack Kakashi using teamwork and coordinated assaults. Naruto using his wind style to enhance Sasuke's fire style. Kakashi is very impressed at the two Gennin's raw strength, and it kind of reminds him a lot of him when he was younger, but they actually are willing to work together. He's happy about it, and he passes them both. Both of them are now official Gennings, and they begin their training. And Kakashi begins to train them. He trains Sasuke in unlocking his Sharingan and just basic training like that. They work on chakra control, and they each learn tree walking. It'll be around this time that Memma graduates, and he gets placed on a team by himself and these two other people. Gonna have these two other people be Menma, I don't know. Menma. It's gonna be Menma, this girl named Saruke, and this boy named, and then it's gonna be Menma, Saruke, and who is someone who would have graduated from there? Well, actually, it's gonna be Menma, Sakura, and Kiba. And the reason Sakura's on the team is because, I don't know, she somehow did a shadow clone. I have no clue. But, yeah. So it's gonna be Menma, Sakura, and Kiba. And their sensei is Kushina. She passes them, and they pass as well. Now I'm gonna do a time skip of, a few years, to when we go to the Land of Waves arc. Naruto and Sasuke are each going to request a much higher level mission. And they say that they're actually going to begin C-rank missions now. Each of them are both tuning level fighters right now because of their intense training. And, yeah. Naruto also made contact with the Nine-Tails Fox. And, I forgot to mention, he has the full Nine-Tails right now. So the full Nine-Tails is in him. And the Nine-Tails actually likes Naruto. Naruto is kind of funny. And, yeah. Naruto and Sasuke are each gonna ask for a higher ranking mission. And Mito's gonna say no. Naruto and Sasuke are each gonna stare at him and be like, why? Mito says that Genin can only go on C rank missions, no B rank. And then they point out that Rock Lee got to go on a B rank mission. And Mito said it's different. And they said that they have a sensei that is just as capable as my guy. They have two Genin who can each probably face Rock Lee and Neji. And then Mito says that they only have 3 members. And Naruto and Sasuke each get really mad at this since they're kind of losing it. But then Menma comes barging in the door, kicking the door down, sending it flying, almost hitting Naruto in the back of the head. Luckily, he ducked. And, yeah. Menma begins to scream, asking for a higher ranking mission by now. And Minato has a brilliant idea. Well, Menma's actually just going to walk in the door, and he's going to ask Minato,
asks Minato what's going on, and Minato is gonna say, Menma, would you like to go on a C-rank mission? And Menma's head would basically snap up, as he would look up at him and be like, who am I going with? Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi. I'll send Kushina as well. Naruto and Sasuke both kind of roll their eyes because they both hate Menma. And don't even get them started on Kushina. They could write a whole 14-page, one font size MLA essay on why they hate her. So yeah, Menma says sure, and Minato says that this is a C-rank mission, but he has suspicions that it's a higher rank mission, probably a B or even an A. But then Naruto asks why they need a second Jonin. Minato says because he just doesn't trust this guy, so it could be a much higher ranking mission. But Naruto begins to say, oh well. Minato tells them to go back to the rooms and pack up. Naruto, Naruto goes back to the house and grabs his sword. Since it's really all grabs a different sword, which is what he wanted. And then attaches it across his chest and then walks out. Menma is walking out of his room at the same time, and Kushina is getting ready in hers. Menma begins to yell at Naruto, saying, hey loser, I'm gonna carry you through this mission. And Naruto just ignores Menma, just continuing to walk out of the house. Then he looks at a clock and says, oh, we're late. So Naruto body flickers over to the place and arrives like a few seconds late. And Tarzan asks where the hell are the rest of them. Naruto says they should be here in like a minute or two. But for Kakashi, they could be waiting for a few hours. It's just the way he is. He gets lost on the path of life a lot. So my guy has to be strong. For Kakashi to accept a rival, they have to be pretty strong. Or maybe just got forced into a rivalry. Naruto and Sasuke both agree that this was probably the most probable answer. And, yeah. I'm actually going to leave off the what if here. It's actually pretty late at night when I'm recording this, and, I did all the backstory up to the Land of Waves arc to when they're about to end. So, actually, yeah, this is going to be where I end it. So, yeah. Actually, Kushina and them are going to arrive, and they're going to get ready to set out. Not before Kushina yells at Kakashi for being late again. Kakashi apologizes, saying they got lost on the path of life. Yeah, so that's all that happens. But yeah, I'm going to end it right here. This was a pretty short what if. I was kind of tired today, so yeah, I'm not going to upload on Sunday, which will be tomorrow when I upload this, just because there's Attack on Titan going on, and I want to watch that, and, I just have reasons. I want to do some other things. I think I'll take a day off a week, That'll be my, schedule. I'll take a day off a week, so every week I get a day off. That'll be my schedule. Every Sunday I get the day off. So, yeah, I won't make one on Sunday. That'll be, my schedule. So, yeah, unless I have stuff going on, and then it's different. But, yeah, thank you guys for all the support recently. And, yeah, you guys, I'm gonna, never mind, actually, I'll do that later. But, yeah, thank you guys for all the support, and, peace.